Hello, this is a quick overview of what I do. I've been maybe nearly a month in Tim's course, new to Aurochs, new to Aurochs. I found it a steep learning curve to start with, but after a few days, soon plateaued and I got what I wanted out of it. So yeah, stick with it if you're having trouble. So yeah, I've got some workspaces. Excuse me. 2x6 here was where I go to first, and then the rest of them, they're just a simple chart screen. So let's get out of that. So I go to one I've named Overview here, which is basically this one. All I've got is volume and 50-day moving average, and the Aurochs indicator, just because it's not very intrusive really. I don't really use it, but I want to get to know it later. So yeah, in the morning, open up this, I can see what's happened in the previous day while I've been asleep. They're all daily charts. I'm a slow trader. I rarely look at the 4 hour unless I'm about to trade or thinking about it. So I've got BTC, that's the only one I'm trading. I had some BTC in a wallet and I put some over onto Poloniex and set a stop loss at the start of this course. And I've not done anything since apart from look at charts. So it sits there. I'll go into that in a little bit more detail soon. I've got some XRP for different reasons. I'm not going to say why, but it's like political and financial, to do with banks and stuff. Same reason with XLM, which is STR on Poloniex. They tend to follow each other, XLM and XRP, except for today. Something's happened today where it's gone up. Got them both really cheap and I'm just hodling. Got a bit of Atom staked, but there's 21 days before you can take any of that out. So it's like long-term investment, just to build up a little bit of Atom over time. But the price has gone down since I bought it, so I've not really made anything. Earned a bit of interest and its value's gone down. Same with eGold. I like the eGold project. Early days, but it's promising. I just drew a few lines on there just to see if it's going to be going up or down. These are like trend lines, and it got to a point and then lost its way. So yeah, not really looking at that at the moment. And the last one, ADA. Not interested in ADA, not bought any. I just see it a lot on CCT Facebook group. People cheer it on or worry about it dropping. So it's doom or moon on that one. So when people start screaming about it, I'll just dip in here and see what's going on. And usually it's not much, it's just a bit of volatility, you know. It's not shot up like everyone was hoping it was going to do. And I don't know much about ADA anyway. I don't know what its use case is. Anyway, use those as a point of interest. I'll just look at these two first thing in the morning pretty much. Okay, so going into BTC. Got a few indicators drawn on here. Right, it's not too messy. I've got Bollinger Band that I've turned off. I've got the cloud. Where's the cloud? That's turned off at the moment. 200-day moving average, because that's way down here at the moment. That's turned off. Aurochs indicators, they're turned off. So I've got moving average and volume and the MACD as indicators. I got into Tim's course about here, so I transferred some Bitcoin into Poloniex. Excited to get started, so I'll set that as my buy point, which is not great because it's in the middle of this horizontal channel. I'll tell you how I came up with that in a moment. So I would have waited until it got down to maybe this trend line before buying. So less risk room, stop loss would have been the same point here, and more profit room. So up here, more risk, less profit. Anyway, yeah, that was my entry point. Now these horizontal lines, where I got those from, there was an all-time high here. Blasted through there for another one, so I put another orange line up there. That turned around here, and it got right down almost onto that orange line. So resistance here became support here. So that sort of confirmed that this was a valid marker that I could use. So I put my stop loss just a bit below that. So if it hit the orange line again and then poked through a little bit, it wouldn't stop me out. Only if it sort of fell through that floor would it save me from a long drop, because they're not much below there. The other thing I was looking at was the 50-day moving average, because that's been reliable for a few months. Picked that up on one of Tim's videos, and this was converging on that horizontal line anyway. So by the time it did do anything, my orange line would be the last defense in effect. So the upper horizontal channel was that all-time high. Eventually it did go through, Bitcoin did go through there, but it didn't have enough steam to stay above it. It fell back below and it hit its head on the ceiling there. So we're back up there again. So this is a significant point for me. I could see something's happening. And the secondary one was the trend line. We're in an uptrend. When I was looking at these at this point here, I just drew a trend line from where we bounced off the 50-day moving average there and onto the next bottom there. Later on, we did go through, bounced off the moving average and then back through into the trend channel again. So just bobbling up this lower channel, hitting the head on the ceiling. So we've got this pennant going on here, which is quite exciting, because if it does go through there, we've got the 50-day moving average, and then I've got my orange line down here and the stop loss here. I haven't moved the stop loss up because there's not really been anything to put it under, really. Maybe follow the moving average up a little bit, I suppose, but not until this bottom that gave a clue that there was some support here. But then the bottom of my trend channel there might have been resistance to knock it back down again. So I've just left this here because there's been a bit of uncertainty for me there. But as we move up, and we've got these two bits of support here, two levels of support, I might move my stop loss up to, say, there, just below this bottom, which is still below moving average, and this, the bottom of the trend channel. For the top of the trend channel, I just joined these all-time highs together, which coincided almost parallel with the bottom of those, because my entry point was just here. I was just looking backwards at this point. All this hadn't been established just yet, so all that is learning territory, basically. So yeah, the stop loss is not determined by a percentage of loss, which was quite a lot from my entry point. If I got in at about 51, that's 41, so that's like $10,000. But then again, it's 20%. If I'd have got in, waited a bit and got in here as my starting point, 5,000, 10%. We've got all this headroom up there as potential profit, and then move this stop loss up here, and then that's positive territory from then on, you know. Okay, so as it is, if I move my stop loss up there now, I've lost a little bit, probably break even, you know. But, you know, first toes in the water. It's my fees for an education. Okay, what else on here then? I have the Bollinger Bands here. So if I'm getting near to something interesting like this bit here, I'll switch on the Bollinger Bands. And Bitcoin does follow the limits of the Bollinger Band pretty well. I don't know how the Bollinger Band works, but I can see this lower level. It follows the 50-day moving average, which gives it confirmation of support again. If it came down to here, you know, it gives it a little bit more strength. On the other hand, we've got the top end here. If that doesn't go up, then it stays level, then that sort of forces Bitcoin along this track. That's the way I see it anyway. But yeah, it does tend to be a bit flexible and volatile, that border. It's not as smooth as the moving average. So yeah, switch it off. Moving average, I'll switch it off because that's way out of range. That's all the way down here. It's not doing anything for me, so don't look at that. Aurochs indicators, sometimes switch those on. The cloud is on. I don't remember switching that on. Ichimoku cloud, so yeah, I'm not sure about the cloud. It gives a little bit of on its own, it doesn't really do much for me. You know, where do I see support in the cloud? It could be we could stay above it, or if it could get trapped in there. So it gives a little bit of faint hope for me as being support. So I'll switch that off. It depends really. It depends on the particular pattern. Whether I take notice of that, but the cloud being in this little no man's land, it's not really confirming anything. It's standing alone pretty much. Okay, so that's it for Bitcoin. That's my main one. Just finish off looking at a bit of XRP, because I just drew some lines on that. I've got the same indicators on the chart. Drew a trend line, touches 3 points on here, and it's just below the 50-day moving average there. This horizontal line, that's just on the bottom of, yeah, it's not quite as definite, that one. Just sort of drew it under the intersection with the 50-day here, this bottom candle and that bottom candle, which is a small dip. So yeah, a bit vague. And the top one I just put on the last high. There's a wick that goes up and touches it just there, and one there, and it's close enough up here to be, you know, nudge me into sticking it there. I could have put it a bit higher, but you know, I'm not trading, I'm just looking on this one. I've got a straight line of resistance down there. Let's bring in a bit of a pennant, so yeah, but I'm holding for the long term. I'm just watching really. If it was to suddenly dive below the 50-day moving average and this and the orange line, I'll still be in profit. So I might think of not really stopping out. I think this is my imaginary stop loss because I haven't got a trade on. I think when it gets down to here, I might think of just dipping out and buying on the next uptick, you know. So yeah, not really actively trading that. I got back in. I got into XRP back here somewhere. It wasn't doing much. It shot up, bobbled about, dipped again, shot up again. So it's been a bit of a ride. I'm not trading it, holding it for political reasons. That's all I'm saying on that, because keep the video short. Anyway, that's it really. My main man, the BTC, is probably one of the most expensive to use as a medium of exchange. It's slow to trade, but it's where the biggest on-ramp is to get fiat into BTC. I think there's a lot more people going to come into crypto, and BTC will be the main man. You know, people have heard of it, so it's got some established history. So what was it? Someone said when you go duck hunting, go to where the ducks are. So BTC is where the ducks are. You know, it's where the new money comes in. That's how I see it anyway. Anyway, that's it. I'm rambling, so I'll just finish it off there. If I've not said just yet, this YouTube channel, 51% Crew, is, I think it's Todd Blackburn who ran it. Got some old videos that are trading view but still relevant. If you're getting started, some good basic trading tips here. And I know Tim mentioned Todd Blackburn before, so with this and Tim's channel, get a good foundation. And it doesn't have to be complicated. You know, I'm not going into too much cloud or Bollinger Band. It's the trend line and the horizontal line, and that's enough really. And the 50-day moving average, that's enough to keep you busy. And the action of Bitcoin seems to be reinforcing that. Some people are looking at the trend line, some are looking at the horizontal line, so, and all adding up to almost predictable reactions. So that's it. Catch you on a live maybe in the future. Any comments? Or tips, or even trolls for entertainment? Yeah, I'll check back.